Greetings, everyone. I am Danielle Hamlet, an efficiency consultant with Baylet Consulting, where we aim to make individuals and businesses with less than 40 employees more productive and efficient through waste reduction. Waste can mean different things to different people, and in one area of our lives, we tend to waste a priceless resource, our time. One of the ways we can optimize our time is to set goals. When we set goals, we have a target. When there is a target, a person can know how to spend their time in the best way possible to achieve their goals. So our topic today then is goal setting. Goal setting is an excellent way to track and measure your business progress, as well as an excellent indicator for how we're spending our time. So in this webinar today, we will cover why goal setting is important. We will talk about, does goal setting actually work? We will talk about a few goal setting techniques. And we will also talk about, what do we do if we are not on track for these goals? Just what do we do? Do we reset? What do we do? So that's what we're going to talk about. Let's get started. So goal setting is a hot topic on everyone's lips, probably all the time, especially when it's time to ring in the new year. Here in a few months, maybe sooner, corporations will have goals retreats, business owners will evaluate their sales, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs will look at those spreadsheets, all for the same purpose. To see where their sales have been, to see if they're going to hit those goals, and then to look forward into next year about what their goals are going to look like. So why though? Why is goal setting important at all? Because I know what I need to do. I hear this a lot, by the way. I know what I need to do, so I'm just going to do it. I don't need goals. I don't need to write it down. I just know what I need to do. So Brian Tracy wrote in a personal success blog entitled The 6 Reasons Goal Setting is Important. He lines out some impelling reasons why goal setting is important, and we'll talk about 3 of those here. Goals give focus. So yes, we may know what we need to do to get our goals, but we're focusing in on really what we need to do by, having goals, writing it down, rather than just, I know what I'm supposed to be doing. Goals help with motivation. So having that motivation, that sense of urgency, and goals can also beat procrastination. I think all of us might be a little guilty of procrastinating more than we need to, and figuring out that goals can help us avoid these behaviors can actually be the difference between success and failure. So I personally believe goals are important because of this quote by Zig Ziglar: you cannot hit a target you cannot see, and you cannot see a target you do not have. Targets or goals, whatever you choose to call them, are important to get you where you want to go in your personal and your professional life. So, does goal setting actually work? Well, like with most things in life, goal setting will work if you do the work. Many people begin goal setting in the right way and then fail to follow through because either the path to the goal is not clear or the goal is not in alignment with what they want out of life. Goals cannot be arbitrary numbers on a page to satisfy your boss, your spouse, your parent, anyone else. It just can't be. Goals have to be relevant to who you are, what you want to accomplish, and the path you want to walk every single day. An Inc.com article, The Real Reason Setting Goals is Critical to Success, outlines goals as a standard by saying when goals are in place, the standard is set, the destination is made clear. Even though the route may change, the objective has been determined. The goals then are a lighthouse They will not tell you where to go, but they let you know where you should be. So your goals are the lighthouse shining for you. So when you have decided where you want to go and why you want to be there, you can make daily decisions based on your goals. This is how goal setting works. All goals have to be in alignment with what you really want out of life. Otherwise, they're just words on a paper that make us feel defeated when they're not achieved. Regardless, though, if you work for yourself or for someone else, there is a way to devise your goals to achieve the things that you want to achieve. Depending on your situation, you may have to get creative. However, matching your employer's goals with where you want to be in life is doable, even if it means planning your exit. I want to talk about when Googling goal setting. I thought this was super interesting. So here we go. I'm preparing for this webinar. I Google goal setting. When I Google goal setting, there are 367 million results generated in 0.52 seconds. Talk about topic saturation. So how do we know what to read? How do we know what to act upon? Can we actually trust that the article on page 1 is the one that will work for us? The one that will be effective for us? Or is it just the one that's marketed the most? How do we know? Well, the only way to know if a specific type of goal setting will work for you is to give it an honest shot for a decent amount of time. By honest shot, I mean actually follow the process. Actually follow the process to its fullest, and at minimum duration of time, meaning minimum of 6 months. There is no way to actually know if something will work for you until you try it to its fullest extent possible for that minimum of 6 months. Okay, so you may be asking yourself, okay, Danielle, what are some goal setting techniques? All right, let's talk about that. I will go over a few in the webinar here in just a second. However, in the grand scheme of Google, I do also want you all to know that when I Googled goal setting techniques, even though I knew what I wanted to talk about, there were 170 million results. So if you wanted to track down something different than I talk about here, Google definitely has that resource for you. So some goal setting techniques. First, and probably the most popular concept, is the SMART goal concept, which stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. Another technique for goal setting, it's more modern, it's actually quite new, is the HARD method, standing for heartfelt, animated, required, and difficult. In both of these techniques, the idea is to set your goals using these acronyms to create meaningful goals that you can actually achieve. So let's walk through how setting goals with these two techniques would work. With SMART, when you're setting your goal, you want to think about it and write it down and ask yourself, is this a clear target, or am I just asking for more? More money, more clients. Then you want to ask, is this goal measurable after you've written it down and you've decided it's specific? Is it measurable? Can I actually gauge where I am in the process of reaching this goal? So for example, if my goal is to add 10 new clients in the first quarter of the year, and it's now the middle of February, have I created a way to track my progress? Do I have an ongoing list, an Excel spreadsheet, or something tracking these new clients? So, and then we want to take our last two letters, A and R, achievable and, or excuse me, not last two, our next two, A and R, which are achievable and realistic. So really honing in on your goal, if it's achievable or realistic, is important. Because let's say I sell coffee cups, okay? Coffee cups that sell for $5. I am the only salesperson of these $5 coffee cups. I'm also unable to afford to sell them in a store online. And I can't market them either online because I'm not able to sell them in a store online. So if I decide to set a goal for $500,000 in the next 6 months by selling $5 cups or, coffee cups, that is not achievable. That is not realistic. So really thinking about that as you write those goals. And then your T for timely or time bound, you want to create a goal with an end that helps keep that motivation. So we talked about earlier that goals help with motivation. Timely goals with a date end helps with motivation and urgency to actually complete them. If the goal is open-ended, there is no real direction on when to finish the goal, what to do, steps to take to reach the goal, and we all just kind of throw the goal out altogether. So thinking of these things and really defining your goal that way can set you up for success. This HARD method is also similar to SMART. However, the words incite different feelings. So, and it may ring truer for you. Heartfelt, connecting emotionally to the goal that you are setting can make it more real. Animated encourages creating mental pictures and the positive feelings that will be felt in the future when the goal is reached. This is along the same lines as visualization, visualizing your goal, its look and its feel when you actually achieve it. Required fills the R spot, and it really talks about creating that urgency again, generating that necessity to actually complete your goals. And then difficult, having difficult goals helps push and challenges us to get better and to achieve great things. Using either one of these acronyms can help you set goals and can lead you to a clearer path. So if you've never set goals in your life, you can certainly start using one of these methods. There's one more goal setting technique I want to go through today. It yields fantastic results and more immediate results in my experience. So Brian P. Morgan and Michael Lennington authored a book named The 12-Week Year. This book is a game changer for those who consistently apply its principles. This book outlines how the annual thinking of January to December is flawed in the fact that the end is too far away. In January, December feels like forever, and people can find different ways to avoid doing the tasks that would help them reach their goal because we have time. And we have 6 months, or we have time. I don't have to do that today. I've got time. The 12-Week Year book also notes that in the last 3 months of the year, people increase their activities to actually meet their original goal or close to it because the end is near. So in that last quarter of the year, they see the end date, which is why when we talked about timely and required, that end date forces that urgency and that necessity. So authors Morgan and Lennington suggest that we can create that typical year-end push by discarding the annual way of setting goals and create 12-week goals instead. The authors state the 12-week year creates a new end game date for you to assess your success or lack of. The great thing about having a 12-week year is that the deadline is always near enough that you never lose sight of it. It provides a time horizon that's long enough to get stuff done, yet short enough to create a sense of urgency and a bias for action. Personally, I think the best part of this method is during the 12-week year, you get to create your aspirational vision of what you want out of a life. And then you align your 12-week goals and tactics with that vision. Creating that connection with the future allows you to know that your daily actions are leading you to where you want to be 5, 10, 15 years in the future. There's also a super fun measurement piece to this process that shines a light on your performance, making identifying success and shortfalls quick and easy. I actually have been in a mastermind group for a long time where we live these concepts every day. So feel free to contact me if you would like some more information about that. Okay, so we just went over some goal setting techniques. We've talked about that goal setting works if you work it, and why goal setting is important, which leads us to what if I'm not on track? Okay, let's say we made a goals in January. What if I'm not on track for my 2020 goal? Good news is we are only halfway through the year. That means we've got half left. Due to current recent events, you may feel that you are not on track to meet your goals. Regardless of how it first feels, we must first evaluate our progress. So this week's action, ready? Take a look at your calendar between today and a week from today and schedule time to review where you are in achieving your goals from whenever you set them, whether you set them 2 months ago, 3 months ago, in January, whatever it is. Create a 2 to 3 hour block of time and take the scheduled time to do nothing but evaluate the goals that you set and where you are in regards to those goals. No judgments, no excuses, just evaluation of the original goal. Much like the earlier $500,000 $5 coffee cup in 6 months sales, if it looks like that, you will likely need to reset your goal. If business closures, business pivots, or a loss in clientele is obvious and that is the reason why you're not on track with your goal, it's time to reset, and it's okay. There's nothing wrong with pivoting or resetting that original goal. If you reset now, you will likely see great results. If you keep a goal that you are far from now, you are setting yourself up for disappointment in the latter part of the year. However, if you happen to be on track and you find yourself on track, you're comfortable with keeping your goal the same, then keep your goal the same. But regardless if you change your goal or if you keep your goal, the next step is the same. Create a plan. And here's what this plan looks like. This plan includes looking at the goal and reverse engineering that goal to create the steps you need to take monthly, weekly, daily, and maybe even hourly to achieve that goal. So if you want to complete the goal in the next 6 months, take the end goal, whatever that is, whether that's a revenue dollar amount, whether that's a specific number of clients, a certain number of sales, whatever that is, you want to divide by 6. And dividing by 6 will give us what we need to accomplish in the next month. Then you will take that number that you have for the month and divide by 4.33, as there is an average of 4.33 weeks in a month. Yes, I know it doesn't make any sense, but divide 52 by 12 sometime. It's kind of ridiculous, but here we are for data purposes. This will give you the actions that you need to take weekly. Then, assuming you work a 5-day work week, you will take your weekly number and divide by 5. That will give you your daily number. And then you can take your daily number and divide by 8, again, assuming you work an 8-hour work day. If you don't, if you work a 6-hour work day, 12-hour work day, whatever that is, do that division. So these are the activities that you need to complete hourly, daily, weekly, monthly to reach your goal. So the last thing that we need to do is we need to put those steps in our calendar and execute those hourly, daily, weekly, and monthly goals. Now, hourly may not pertain to you, and that's okay. That's okay. You can go daily, weekly, monthly. So goal setting can be a challenge for some, and sometimes it's easier to collaborate with another person to make a strong plan of action to meet your goals.